Men of the West, stand your ground. Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Jackie Vision. Welcome back to another Total War Rise of Mordor online battle. Today we are diving in with the brand new Mordor update, diving in and taking a look at some of the awesome new units as well as this epic new battle. I believe this battle was played on their really cool new tile map system, which is basically where you click somewhere in Middle-earth and it generates you a map. It's super cool, and I have a very exciting battle for you this day. So we have two Gondorian forces supported by an army of Inladris elves, which is going to really help shore up their kind of weaknesses and really give them some like ultra elite quality in their army, where Gondor kind of is just a standardized infantry. The elves bring that eliteness to it. So yeah, they're going to be holding back and kind of, keeping this mountain pass as safe as possible. We then also have a nice little fallback position here with 4 units of Gondorian bow militia, 2 trebuchets, and a fairly elite Gondorian army over there to the right. We also have the elves moving out with their horse archers as well, harassing, trying to really whittle down our opponents. Our opponents being the forces of evil. We have, I believe, an Isengard army, a unit from Dol Amroth, and also some Mordorians, as well as obviously Isengard. And this is one of the brand new units. You can't really see him because he is diving deep into the brush, but this is Lurtz. It's a brand new hero unit for the forces of Isengard, so they actually have a few more custom generals, which is nice. And then yeah, obviously, actually, is this mainly just all? Oh yeah, we do have Dol Guldur there. We have the brand new troll units as well, and you guys will be able to see these guys. They have completely custom made animations. Super cool. You can see some of their run animations right now. Obviously still a bit of a work in progress, but definitely getting there. And we also have Camille the Nazgul as well. So we actually have a Nazgul right here looking good. Sorry, I know it's really dark for some reason, or it's just a Tiller lighting. It's generally pretty good. Also, the Nazgul though are they are shrouded in darkness, it would seem. As long as I keep my camera at this angle, we should be pretty fine. And oh my god, we are seeing the Elven Noldrin Rangers putting work in on these Dungeon Horse Raiders. I mean, obviously, these are not exactly the most armored units on horseback right now. And it's no surprise that they are getting hammered. And also, we've got a trebuchet volley coming in. Luckily, the cavalry turning around and running back, but the forces of evil are being pushed further and further forward. Oh yeah, and we obviously also have an army from Mordor as well. Is this being led by the Witch King? Or, yeah, this is actually being led by the Witch King himself as well. I don't know if we can see him. I think he's scattered around somewhere, but he does also have his own custom model, which is very cool indeed. Normally, they just have areas right there. You can see. Looking very dope as well. I love that Rise of Mordor have really gone into making some more custom hero models for generals and stuff. I think it really does add out quite a nice little addition to it. So as you guys can see, the battle is down this narrow pass, and it's going to be an interesting one. There are a lot of enemy units. I love how the Noldrin horses are being very aggressive in the early game, just trying to kind of whittle down any of these assaulting forces. But they're going to be very careful because now the Uruk-hai crossbowmen are being brought up, along with a big, oh my god, 300 orc man blobs of archers. This is 1,200 archers just in this, and it must have cost them like next to nothing. I mean, they're literally not going to really do much in this battle. They're just going to basically be there to absorb. If they can get some elven volleys into them, that is perfect. And they're just acting as a meat shield. They're going to be pretty useless. Their accuracy is awful. Their missile damage is really bad. But hey, they're there. They're cheap, and that's all you really need. The Elven Cavalry able to take out 2 units of the Dungeon Horses. Now it's going to countercharge these poor free riders who remain. And yeah, that's going to make quick work of them, allowing them to now fall back and keep on pushing. So what we can do now, as more and more of the forces are moving around, we have a unit or an army of Gondor kind of reinforcing this left-hand side. They're really kind of focusing down on here. We also are bringing down the Gondor bow militia as well. So it seems like this fallback position is no longer going to be a viable kind of... Maybe they can still fall back here as the trebuchets get ready to unleash another volley. But yeah, I think the main fight is just going to be in this big valley rather than trying to fall back to these hills. And the trebuchets should be unleashing hell because they must be in range of pretty much everything. At this point. Obviously, their main focus is going to be on the trolls for sure. Actually, maybe not though. Maybe not. It does actually seem like the trebuchet range is just kind of out of range of these trolls, which does make sense. There are a lot of enemy trolls as well, which is pretty scary. Oh, some of the shots coming in though and killing some of the horses. There's just a lot of evil soldiers right now. Over 8,000 of them. That is scary as we get closer and closer. York warriors being sent forward first, obviously. Really just kind of going to try and get the trash in the battle as quickly as possible to absorb them, you know, initial volleys of archers. And just tire out that front line from Gondor. But Gondor are looking pretty good right now. Set up a very, very scary front line. But it must be pretty intimidating seeing the amount of orc rabble, Uruks, trolls get closer and closer, and there you go. Them volley arrows coming in. I mean, these guys are in shield wall as well, so their missile resistance is pretty high. Yeah, 60% missile block chance. They should be pretty good. I can't imagine the orc bow rabble will do too much, but I believe units do get a bit of a debuff if they are being hit by missiles, so that's also kind of a nice way to apply it. And there's just so many trolls. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4 units, and I think they're all Olog high as well, so that's going to be definitely a scary thing to try and focus down. We also have a couple Nathatoon throwers as well. Yeah, the White Hand Grenadiers. So these guys basically throw Nathatoons, grenades. They do some serious damage if you don't deal with them. And that's why they're kind of sitting back and kind of going to be added a bit more later into the battle. And here we go. The enemy forces are starting to approach the forest, where they're going to meet the Penethglenil Spearmen. And there we go. The first engagement. Some Uruks actually thrown forward first as well. Some of the more heavily armored Uruk Throng. A fairly decently upgraded armored unit. This is kind of the standardized infantry for Mordor. And it gets the job done. You know, it's not going to win any awards for killing hundreds of soldiers, but it will keep the enemy at bay whilst your other units do it. And that's what's really, you know, so important about Mordor, is they need units like this that hold the line, to kind of go toe-to-toe for a bit with the more elite armies of the good guys, so that their more elite units like pikemen, like their cavalry, and like their trolls can then get stuck in and do some serious damage. And even against spearmen, they might actually end up winning this one. We also have some more of the Urukai as well, so some more of the Urukai infantry now throwing their way forward. And then there's a lot of spearmen, like a lot of spearmen on this front line. So the actual killing power of Gondor right now is, they're going to be struggling a bit. But obviously the main damage is going to come in when these trolls really fly in. And I really like what the attacking players have done, is they position the majority of their trolls in the forest. So that's going to give them that little bit of protection from the arrow fire coming in, which is really, really useful. However, we do have a unit of Prince's Coast Guard now being brought up. So halberds are just so deadly from the front lines. So lobbing these guys in, and they're under quite a bit of protection. They're going to be a nice unit to kind of counter these orc pikes, or at least kind of do decently against them. So not a bad setup right there. In the forest as well, yeah, we've also engaged in the forest as well. There's a lot more shock infantry. So yeah, very good play here by the attacking player. They put a lot of their kind of shock infantry, the ones that are really vulnerable to missiles, through this forest, which just gives that added protection from missiles. And there we go, the first unit of trolls moving around the flank. Is there much of a way to stop this? I mean, quickly rushing over, we do have some of the warriors and also a unit of Noldrin archers, so the elves are going to have to volley in on them. I think that's going to be their main focus. But the thing is, the Olog High have decent missile defense, just because of their armor. The armor value being 80 allows them to really kind of get stuck in and absorb the damage. I'm not actually too sure. Look how awesome that charge looks as well. I'm not actually too sure how well shock infantry does against trolls, like if they cut them down or what. It's not really something I've tested. And also you can see all the cool custom animations as well, and soldiers flying around. It's so impressive what they've done. It really is. Look at that, like I think it's got sent flying by the Olog High. So dope. It really is. Like, the team has just done such an amazing job. The trolls so far doing pretty decently. 30 kills on the Olog High already. Yeah, seemingly they do pretty good against shock infantry. We'll have to see how they survive after a long period of time. But yeah, so far decently. Because yeah, like Olog High do great against most things, I've noticed. And they're a big upgrade from the cave trolls as well that we've been using in Moria. Like, really, really do good. And yeah, especially in the rear as well, just smashing down the Gondor sword infantry, who have kind of been left dry. This is like too much over here. Because yeah, Olog High do great also against halberds as well. So it'll be interesting to see what their real counters are. The Coast Guards are supporting against the Urukai on the extreme left-hand side, or I guess right-hand side if we're looking from a defender's point of view. And with the Princess Coast Guard there, so just going to kind of shore up this flank, and you can see they're winning quite handedly. The Spearmen are up to 31 kills. But yeah, Princess Coast Guard really was turning that in. And the arrow fire flying in as well, obviously focusing down these White Hand Grenadiers. We'll keep an eye on them. I'll make sure I don't kind of miss them if they do go in and try and throw anything, because that'd be very, very deadly. Right now, these Olokai are killing. One of the big complaints were that the Olokai, or at least the Cave Troll variant of these, just weren't really doing much damage. But it does seem like the Olokai are really growing. I mean, they're getting hammered by Elven Archer Fire as well. And yeah, they're killing pretty quickly. They rip through that unit of Shock Infantry. But I mean, I guess the Olokai are just a better, bigger, armored version of Shock Infantry, so they do a great job. And even against the Elves as well. Yeah, I mean, obviously the Elves have the Archer Fire to deal with these guys, but I think the Elves are going to really struggle because they have such like elite units, and these Trolls just do not care about that. Like, they will just kill anything they get thrown in against. And yeah, look at that. With the support of the mass Olokai charge, it is unstoppable now. The Grenadiers still just sitting back being the main focus fire. Down to 53 men now, or Uruks. Yeah, a lot of these Bow Militia are trying to bring them down. A really nice position here as well. Able to kind of cabinet, like kind of look across the battlefield and just fire in shot after shot as the battlefield does continue once again. And have they actually managed to rout them? Oh, they have. That's really nice work there. Focus firing, a bit of a misplay, bringing them Grenadiers too close. The main battle line as well is still going on. We'll actually slow up the camera a little bit and just kind of go down the battle line. I always love to do this, and it's not something I do that much anymore, and I really should. And now look at this, the Olokai stuck in the front lines as well. And yeah, it just seems like Gondor and the Elves just don't really have an answer. Where are your Marines? The Marines, I mean, the Javelin Fire would do great. The Elves being thrown in against the other Isengard army. And this is obviously a pretty good matchup for them on this side. As we continue to go down. Archer volleys going in. Bring it down, aim for the Trolls. As Gandalf would say, as they volley in once again. Setting them shots, but yeah, look at that. The Olokai just running amok. I mean, they are expensive as well, don't get me wrong. They are 2,500 gold. And, you know, most people play like a 2-unit limit as well per army. So it does take up a decent amount of army. You can get, what, like 3 units of decent infantry as Mordor as that. But I think they're going to be a staple in pretty much every single army. If we take a look at the overall battlefield, you can see that the forces of evil are just descending upon them. The Elven Cavalry now being brought in to try and quell the Troll advance. As they try their best. And at this point, the Noldrin Cavalry has kind of served their purpose, at least for majority. They've fired their ammunition. Now moving in here is always a good idea. However, they could really try and do some crazy stuff here. Try and get their cavalry around here. I'm not sure how far up this slope they can get. And then just start hammering and anviling. Because you could also like go for the approach of just almost ignoring the Trolls at this point. You know, giving up that the Trolls are going to just do their thing and try and break the rest of the army. Because unsupported, I think the Olokai do not do as well. I also imagine like Fountain Guard and the Noldrin Spear, Guards of Inladris. Is that what the, yeah, that's what the good pikes are called. Would really just do a number on them. I think Halberds would struggle. But I think maybe like proper pikemen would do really well against Trolls. And look at that, manage a nice little charge through. I mean, a bit pointless because you're charging into Orc Rabble, but just kind of causing these number damages, like attrition loss is also a big thing. They've almost thrown in an entire unit of Noldrin Rangers into this unit of Orc Bow Rabble. And these Rabble literally does not do anything. Like, they've got, I mean, 37 kills is actually not that bad. But they do still cost a couple hundred. But yeah, look at that. The main front line has really repelled back the forces of evil. The support of the Prince's Coast Guard, 100 kills, 48 kills. Of the Spearmen, 200 kills. And 50 kills on that, so a nice little setup right there. So this center is looking very strong for Gondor and the Elves. I imagine it'll be a similar result on this right flank as well. Princess Coast Guard is just such a hard unit to break through, and that's obviously what all the missile fire needs to be focused on. But again, when you've got a unit of like spearmen on top of them, like Gondor is doing in this battle, it then also becomes pretty harsh Crossbowmen are normally pretty decent at dealing with them because they can pierce that armor. But obviously that is not the flank that they are worried about. They are throwing everything in on this left-hand side. The Olokai, 126 kills, 118 kills. Definitely pretty decent. And again, these are kills on good units. That's something you always have to keep in mind when you're like kind of checking out a Rise of Mordor replay. Is what faction are they fighting? Because sometimes kills can look really underwhelming. But the fact is, the elves have like 80 soldiers in their unit compared to like Mordor with 100 and something. Sorry, Mordor with like 300 orcs in a unit. So kills can be really deceptive. And the fact that these trolls are getting as many kills as they can against fairly low dense factions like Gondor and the elves. So the Gondor are pretty kind of midway. But the elves are obviously very, very small. And these trolls are still looking pretty healthy. So I think plenty more kills. And they're fighting units that they want to be fighting. You know, 113 kills, and this troll unit has not lost a single one yet. This one's, I think, lost one troll. This one down here, 138 kills. Yeah, Olokai are decent for sure. Moravian units being committed, though. Really trying to push back the pressure as more pikes are being sent forward. Numbers-wise, as we can see, the attacking force of evil have over 5,000. The defending force of good have roughly around about 4,000. That's going to be dropping below that very soon. And it'll be very interesting to see like when they decide to kind of fall back their line. And it's very hard for the defensive player to do this. They got no missiles left now to counterfire on these crossbows. So these Urukai are just basically getting free volleys in on these spearmen. And as I said literally a moment ago, you know, this is what they want to have happen. The defenders can't push out and deal with these crossbows. So they basically just have to sit here or decide to fall back. And unfortunately, I'm actually throwing forward their bow militia right now to try and stop this. But I'll be cut down by the White Hand Stormers very easily. And yeah, the defense is just in a hard situation because this defense is like impregnable from the front. But this missile fire is a great way of dealing with it. And obviously wrapping around this left-hand side with the trolls, who I think will eventually kill that, is great. And oh my god, look at that. One of the generals going down. Is that the general of Dol Guldur? Yeah, the Dol Guldur of the Nazgul have gone down. Kamul, the Nazgul. I mean, I guess he can't be killed. You cannot kill them. So he'll be returning at some point. But he has been rid from this battlefield, which will definitely send a shockwave throughout Dol Guldur's main attack. The Elven Cavalry doing its best, but again being caught up in the fight. And even with more artillery fire, more missile fire, the troll hordes holding that for as long as they can. More cavalry now being thrown in just to simply hold the line. This is looking like a dark day. A dark day for good. But a great day for evil, which I guess would also still be a dark day because the orcs love darkness, so... We will have to see, though, if there is any hope left. Again, these crossbows really just able to do the business and open up a game. Oh, actually, there's 2 units of Gondor Bow Militia. I think they just need to focus down with the Urukai. There's only 150 of them left in the unit, so that kind of HP Halo shield, it has been wrapped off of them. And the left flank is actually looking kind of good, like it's been repelled a bit. The Witch King is moving in now to maybe try and cause a breach. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, but the defenders are rallying and they've kind of almost weathered the storm. The trolls are having to fall back and reposition. I think they're going to maybe go to the center of the battlefield. And as I said, the support units are being wrapped up like them basic units of orcs are now being taken care of. You can see there's only a handful of units still left remaining. And yeah, even the rest of the Urukai are now breaking. We've got a unit of Urukai crossbowmen in here as they get burnt alive by the artillery shot. That was brutal. And, you know, as I said, ill-supported, the Olokai will go down. So that's why I think we're seeing them being brought around. And a lot of the rest of the army really struggling right now. The morale, losing their general, all racking up. And now the forces of good are starting to turn the tides of battle, almost taking the kill lead into their advantage. That is really impressive. The servants of the Ivo wrapping around, able to kind of pin down some of these guards of Ladris and now rear charge into the back of the Gondorians. Very nice indeed. I don't know. This battle could go either way. I feel like the forces of good just have a lot left. A lot left in this battle. I also, as well, will mention this now, just in case we see it. But I really hope we have not desynced in this battle. I mean, it's been a good enough battle that I'll upload it either way. But yeah, this, because again, this is being recorded on a different version. I believe this was recorded on the pre-release version, or played on the pre-release version of Rise of Mordor. And I believe I'm on the live version right now, because these units aren't doing a lot, which generally just means they've been broken, which is why you see them not doing anything. But yeah, I mean, there's not really a lot left. We even have a little last stand right here as the forces of good come back. So generally what it means is, like, if these guys are just standing still, it means that in the replay they normally had just, like, failed their command or they're dead, and it just hasn't shown it. Oh, nice little charge here into the back of the Black Root Vale archers. And with 5 minutes left, yeah, it's not looking great for both sides. And I think the numbers are winning. There's just a lot back over here. And the crossbows, so huge. 200 kills and 100 kills. And again, they're able just to really kill these Gondor spearmen who, again, just have to kind of sit here and take it. There's not really much they can do. They have to sit back and just get volleys after volleys. More cavalry charges coming in, though, as the Elven cavalry try and make some sense of this darkness. Oh, taking a crossbow volley into the back. I mean, they're cheering because someone's routing, but that's not a position you want to be in, my friend. And there's still all this Olokai left. Yeah, obviously, again, ignore that this is even here. Just, it's dead. Don't worry. The replay is just showing it, but it is basically dead or routed. In the code of a replay, they stop having orders. So you can pretty much ignore that. Trolls now again committing in. And a dark day indeed. So yeah, the balanced power bar is completely lying as well, because again, they don't exist on that flank. So yeah, this is looking amazing for the forces of evil. Completely overrunning that line. We actually never got to see the grenades actually firing as well. And I wonder what's going to happen, because if this obviously has all desynced on this left-hand side. So I wonder what happens if these guys get caught on them. If they're just going to fight it out. Because I assume these grenades are probably used to break this inner circle. Not that's really, really needed. I guess they maybe just run through and lose some soldiers as they do that. Who knows? But yeah, there is no hope left. The complete flank has been overrun. Are these grenades going to be brought into fire? They don't even get a chance to, as the White Hand Stormers lay down the law on the spearmen of Gondor. Able to use them hook blades very effectively. Now completely overrun that. And now, yeah, we literally do just have this last stand now. Or I guess they kind of try and form up a little bit as best as they can. The Olokai charging in. And yeah, the grenades being brought up as well. A few charges as the elves make the most of this cavalry, which have done a good job. 136 kills is not bad. Olokai almost 200 kills now. And they can really rack up some kills against the Bone Militia, who do not stand a chance as the cavalry continue to maneuver around. And yeah, Gondor are just trying their best to fall back. The trolls able to find their mark, though. Another charge in into the Citadel Guard. I wonder how Citadel Guard do against trolls. Yeah, I honestly don't know what the answer is besides missile fire. Like, I don't know if, like, heavy spearmen do great against trolls, if... Because, like, yeah, halberds don't do great. Maybe good pikes do, and, like, obviously skirmishers are also great. And that's just something we're going to have to, obviously, find out. And I think we have a big break now. It seems like they were trying to fall back to hold the line at this chasm with their pikemen. But they should just keep that box. But again, I guess the reason they decided to fall back from the box is because of the grenades. The grenades would have just tore them apart. So they kind of split their forces. I guess also good examples are, oh my god, this Ologai unit has over 300 kills, or very soon to have 300 kills. And seemingly even against pikes they do decently. Yeah, look at that. They are tearing this pike formation apart. I imagine the pikes are also laying down a bit of damage on them. But so far, not bad at all. And yeah, the complete rout right there. Matt's going to wrap up the replay. Gondor has been broken. So a little bit of desyncing, it does seem. But I'm sure the replay played out very similar to how that went down. Kind of the center broke, obviously all this routed. And still a very epic battle as the trolls lay down that lore. And yeah, we'll just say the army mass routed, which is absolutely fine. I mean, that was an epic battle for sure. And I think a victory, again, ignore that. Yeah, you can see the desync coming in, which is unfortunate. I'll make sure I've got the right version, because maybe it's my mistake and I have the older version. But it seems like a very cool replay nonetheless, and a great assault there. I love the way the defenders held that right flank with the Prince's Coast Guard, the halberds. And I love how the Forces of Evil utilized the forest with their trolls and really swooped around and attacked. So ultra cool battle. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. If you want to see more Rise of Mordor on the channel, make sure to drop a like and a comment down below. I have a few more battle replays. I think there's a really cool Doamroth city siege battle, which I'll be showing on the channel probably this weekend. So if you're looking forward to that, make sure you drop a like. I'll see you guys in the next one.